Greetings, everybody. We've gathered around the table again today to continue our look at the Lightweigth PM3 from Spyderco. And to keep drinking, apparently.
Well, some of us are more excited than others. Others need to dull the pain of their misery.
We're going to talk. We're going to talk.
About his misery.
Specifically his misery.
Wonderful. I'll grab the popcorn.
Little bit.
This isn't a one-episode video anymore, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'll grab 2 bags of popcorn.
The saddest trilogy ever.
You know when you go on YouTube and you look up knife review videos and there's Nut and Fancy's hour-long philosophy videos, it's gonna be like that, but we're just gonna be bitching about one particular knife and nothing will be
No, it's
resolved
fine.
by
We're
the
not
end of
even
it.
going to bitch that much. I like this knife. Did you see the score I gave it? I've given a lot of knives worse scores than this.
This is true.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yep.
But there was something about a fish.
There was.
There was.
Okay, we're talking about stuff.
We are.
Diving into it. FRN, right off the bat. I understand this honeycomb texture is good, but the chamfering is almost too much and makes it too slippery for me. In the finger choil, I have no problem with it. For whatever reason, if you found an issue to use it without the finger choil,
A weirdo.
Like a
it
monster.
still fits my hand, by the way. Just for the record, still fits my hand.
Mine too.
It feels like a fish trying to jump out of my hand with all the chamfering. I do not find that
I almost got
on...
fish, though.
I moved it because of this knife.
Fine.
Jesus. The regular PM2, which we also... Or PM3. I don't know. It's a PM.
It's definitely a 3.
With the G10. Because of the G10 locks you in. Now you guys
Yeah.
have a counter argument.
We do to a degree,
Yeah, I definitely can see the issue of the FRN being slippy. And as far as it goes, I actually enjoy the texture of this FRN that they've done this year compared to ones in the past.
100%. It's really
We
nice.
touched on that in the Indela episode.
We certainly did.
Yeah, so
and
it's
I
got
appreciate it.
Yeah, so it's not as slippery as like the regular Endura Indelicas and stuff.
It's got a satisfying feel.
Yes.
And in the finger choil, I 100% agree with everything you just said, for sure. Compared to the old school hard corners. And
Yeah.
when you look at an Endura or a Delica that have those hard corners, I appreciate it. I do.
Yeah.
And speaking of hard corners, look at what we got with the regular PM3, and by
It
extension
is
the PM2 and the
such
military.
a block in the hand.
I honestly really dislike the grip on this knife specifically because of those corners. Not because I dislike G10. I love G10. But
I'm going to say right now, I'm going to pop up some pictures of some guys who have done some mods and some like ergonomic changes to this knife to make it absolutely beautiful.
Yep.
Remind me about
Will
that.
do.
But it needs changes.
Yes.
that's just it. If
True
this
story.
knife had those contours, I'd be a lot more
Yeah,
happy.
yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Always.
Yeah, I can definitely agree as far as the slippiness of the material, but I want these contours and these curves with this sort of material.
Correct. And I 100% agree. All 4 of us are in agreement on that statement.
Yeah.
I'm also the weird outlier because I don't care about this texture and I actually sanded it off.
I certainly
PM2.
It's
I don't care about slippery knives. I can hold it. It's fine.
PM2 is also a bit of a bigger knife, so, I mean, got a bit of a different ergonomic profile, right?
Fine.
No, but
He
He got me there.
He kind of does. But having said that, I'll take the blockiness with the sure grip, depending on what grip you're in, personally, over the chamfering, if I had to pick my... And then BD1N compared to S30V.
for, what, Canadian 70-ish dollars cheaper, though. I mean, you're...
70?
Isn't it?
Well, I don't know.
It's around-
Anyway, I don't know. I don't even know what the US MSRP is. I realized that, yes, cost versus materials, smoke and deal with the BD1N.
Yeah.
Part of the appeal for this knife for me is the fact that it's in BD1N and I don't have BD1N.
But how many people are jacked up about exclusives, including the brand new M390 that DLT just released, that people
I
are
would take
going
that.
nuts
I'd take
over.
that.
I'd pay $250
So
for
don't
it.
tell me that BD1N cuts it, because all y'all would
At its price,
suck
though, it's
some
fine.
serious bleeping bleep for some M390.
But at its price point, it's okay.
You bet.
Yeah.
I have no argument with that statement either.
Yeah.
But saying it's good enough is crap argument, and you all
For
know
us-
it's...
Us assholes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're always going to want the newest, best steel in the market, the best materials on the hand.
But
we
for
could
someone
possibly
who's
have.
coming into an entry level that's looking at a Delica, an Endura, an Indela, which I think is a great knife, by the way, as well, a PM3 lightweight, he's the only Andela?
I liked it.
Yeah.
It's decent.
I honestly think they might be targeting people who already have either a PM3 or a PM2 and they want something lightweight and they just for the occasion where they're wearing gym shorts or whatever, and they don't necessarily want to have a ton of weight and they don't necessarily need the good edge holding that S30V has. They're willing to take a step down in performance.
Okay, and on the note of blade steel, sorry, Paul, go ahead.
All I was going to say is, you're at the point. No.
BD1N polishing compared to S30V not polishing is what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Is we were talking about edge finishes before,
Yeah.
and BD1N polishes like a son of a bitch. And S30, 600 grit diamond it and call it good. Like it's, so you don't have to, but
You can.
But it's an option.
why not? Because it performs just as good. So why would you put the maintenance into it?
Yeah.
Diminishing returns. I've talked about
Yeah.
it in edge sharpening before, and that's,
For sure.
You don't remember
I
your
genuinely
statement?
forgot my statement.
I got nothing for you. I was trying to
Yeah.
It
distract
couldn't have
so
been
you
that
can
important.
remember it. You still got nothing.
Yeah. And as far as the kind of market, I can see this being really, really appealing to guys that do have one of the higher grade ones or one of the exclusives and are babying it because it's an exclusive. It's something special to them.
There's a lot of guys
Okay.
who do that, yeah.
Get themselves a beat up version.
The PM2 and the PM3 fanboys, this is a tackle box knife.
Exactly.
And it's a great
Yep.
tackle box knife for those fanboys because they have 32 and this now makes 33 that they don't even have to think about it. It's there
How's
when
the,
you need it.
the corrosion resistance?
I think it's got to be pretty damn good.
Better
I think
than
this
Oz 8
is,
at least.
This is more than stainless. And
So-
they've used
something
Oz
you
8
could throw in a
5
tackle
times.
box.
Yeah, a VG10 stainless type.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know where I was going with. Oh yeah, the backside of this. Now, over and over again on this is no longer in the picture. Put that to go. On the note of all the other reviewers out there that I've watched over the last couple of days complaining about the one flaw in this knife. How do we care about the stop pin only being steel liner on one side and strictly FRN on the other side? That's the stop pin where the blade opens over and over and over again.
That's
Just for the
a
record.
point that I didn't consider.
I'm going to throw it at you right now, and this
Yeah,
and this isn't even the point that I want to throw at you because I've got another point on this knife. But
I'm sure you're probably fine as long as you're not hard using it.
In my mind, because also the pivot is set in FRN as well, it doesn't have a steel liner for that as either.
It's not losing anything.
hang on,
It's
a
on
second.
one side for... There's like a larger washer bit on the one side.
Steel on one side, FRN on the other. You
Yeah,
bet.
but it's just like a washer. It's not actually set in the scale in any way.
And then get this, boys. It looks like Teflon on the FRN side and bronze on the steel side. And I don't know if anyone's noticed that. Shabazz had a disassembly, so you probably noticed that. And I could or could not be wrong on that statement, but that's what it looked like when I just checked it out.
So back to the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
Because both are pretty much essentially set into the FRN with that little bit of the steel liner just on the one side to help reinforce, the likelihood that this is going to bust out is just as likelihood that this is going to bust out. If there's stress being put on the stop pin, there's stress being put on the pivot as well.
And-
True story.
And
Even
if
though-
one's going to break, they're both going to break at the same
Yeah.
time, I think.
And I think you're right on that. Even though people might say, "Oh, well, the pivot screws are bigger," it's like this is true, but that's also going to be the focal point of all contact.
Okay,
So-
I'll bring up another point, how close it is to the edge of the knife compared to how centered it is.
That might be the issue, right?
FRN
The
material.
difference, yeah.
At the end of the day, though, this is not a knife that you're going to be prying with intentionally. I mean, this isn't.
I was just
really-
looking to see it was screwed in from both sides, so there's
It is.
some added stability from that. But
I have, because of the
It's
screws
better than just a
inside.
pin
you
on the
bet.
inside,
Yeah,
yeah.
the screws reinforce for sure. Now, having said that, there is one other point. There's a gentleman on Instagram that actually did smash through his Maximate. No, it was this one.
Yeah, it was
The
lightweight.
PM3 Lightweigh, sorry, as well as his Maximate one. He does crazy videos where
Yeah.
he's breaking them through bricks and batoning them with a rubber mount through bricks.
Oh.
He did it with this. There was minor edge damage, but it's BD1N against a brick, so
Surprise.
it's a brick.
no surprise
Yeah.
on that. But he did it, and surprisingly, no damage to the stop pin in any way. No
Yep, lockup was still
lock
fine.
stability.
Yep.
So
Fantastic.
what are you going to do in an EDC environment that's going to hurt that stop pin that much that you can't do that
Yep.
on a regular
That's what I was
basis?
going to say. Is
that. That's what people are going to do to bust this knife. And the
But
tip's
then
more
you're
likely
going
to
to
break
be,
before.
either the tip would break or else you're going to be flexing the handle material.
I've seen Spydercos break a lot
That
of
too,
holes
yeah.
as well.
Yeah. The
But
plat-
that's not going to be like a stop pin.
It's not. It's no
That's what I
longer
mean,
a stop
yeah.
pin issue.
That's
for
what
sure.
there's other things that will fail before that point.
Yeah.
But I know people who will push things further than they need to go. Those sorts
What
of
do you
things.
mean this is not a screwdriver?
Okay, one more pro side before we all said and done on this one. I have to dabble on.
I did remember my point, so I got to jump on that one
Okay,
after.
do it right now because I've got one
Before you
other
forget
con.
again.
Okay. The only thing that I was going to throw out before was the fact that this almost feels like it's, I don't know, direct competition, but competition against the bug out.
Ding ding
Yes.
ding.
It's
Ding,
a
ding, ding.
lightweight
Yeah.
knife that,
Yeah.
and quite honestly, we were talking about it in a previous video. It's what, double the weight of a bug out, something like that.
No, it's 2.4 and the other one's like 1.68 or 1.7
It's
or
like
something.
an
like that.
ounce lighter at very most.
Yeah.
So 40%,
Yeah. So,
35-40%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a competition knife for the bug out 100%. And they were smart enough to keep a cheap enough steel that they could undercut the bug out.
Yes.
As well. So clever.
100%. And the only thing I was going to say is it's not any more likely or less likely, I'd say, than the bug out to fail. It's going to fail in the same way, and it's
Yeah.
probably as likely to fail
For
for
the
both of
same
them.
reasons,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
No, I actually have two things. Where the compression lock is set in, it's got a little plastic piece on the one side to reinforce where the compression lock is.
He's talking about a reinforcement bar that's on the inside of the handle.
That's
to be
molded out of
clear.
the plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is what I'm talking about. And if you've seen any of the disassembly videos, I'm sure you've seen it. I do trust that plastic bar as far as it retaining the compression lock, so that's not a concern when it comes to strength. Even though when we initially looked at this knife, we were kind of curious about how strong that particular area would be,
Absolutely.
right?
For sure.
My main complaint is actually Spyderco's principle on a whole right now. We've got a PM3 lightweight. They just released a Sage 5 lightweight.
Tenacious lightweight.
Did they throw a tenacious lightweight?
It's a
Yeah, they
tenacious
just
lightweight.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's a whole other
Okay,
monster. But
no, this is the same monster. This
It's
is
just getting
same
just a different scale.
goddamn monster.
Different scale, though, man.
We're going into a third video.
Make a new knife, not rely on the bullshit of reducing weight and other things. This is not unique. This is just you guys' laziness on the drawing board.
Some of the new designs they have come out with have been really good hits.
Fantastic.
And they should
Yeah.
definitely jump on
You
that
bet.
market a lot.
But I have to jump onto the Sage train a little bit because the whole point of the Sage was to promote different locking mechanisms, and they just came out with a Sage 5 lightweight, which is a variation of a knife, and it's not a sprint run. It's a regular production knife that they put out on that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm smashing stuff around because I'm ranting about Spyderco.
As is wont to happen. Yes.
Well, I'm just saying,
They
like,
only do the one lock once.
up
Normally.
until now.
Normally, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was
Yeah. So where's my Sage 6? Where's, like, with a compression lock? They haven't come out with a Sage with a compression lock. Or, the Sage 5 has.
Or a power lock, for that matter.
Yeah, you bet they came up with a power lock. Sorry.
That would be so awkward trying to mash that into such a small little
Let's
knife.
throw.
Too
Let's,
bad. Do it, Spyderco.
let's throw this out there just to be a dick. The access lock patent has now expired.
Oh, yes. Spyderco, get it on.
They did put a power or their ball bearing lock,
Yeah,
or whatever
bolt
it was,
lock.
bolt
Yeah.
lock into theirs. But Jesus Christ, it would be so funny.
Access locks with like coil springs.
Ooh.
As an Anthem owner,
Yes.
Yeah.
that's the thing, man.
Yeah.
Do it.
So cool that we're coming out with all these economic versions, but I'm really kind of pissed that you're promoting all this time to come out with a knife
That we've already seen. That's
a
already
million
been done.
times. And when you mention a tenacious lightweight, I'm like, yeah, it's called a bird knife. What the
Exactly.
hell?
We
Like,
had this
They're
discussion.
competing with their own brands. It's
the,
amazing.
The urge to drop an F-bomb in that statement was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, one tiny positive thing, they did innovate in one nice way that I actually do appreciate. The pocket clip.
I do too. I like this.
I wouldn't call that innovating.
No,
in any
but
way,
that's
though.
why there's an air quote.
That's a stretch.
No,
Still, though.
improving, but it's the
Yes.
difference between an Endura 3 and an Endura 4.
They changed the position and they gave you a D-carry wire clip.
Yeah.
They got rid of the giant lanyard hole, they made it a little smaller, but that's the orientation that should happen more often.
Now, the only complaint about the lanyard hole where it is right now is if I had a knife in my pocket and I had a lanyard on it so I could grab it,
I guess it would dip forward. To do
that is
wouldn't it?
not a convenient placement for
Well-
that compared to poking out the side of the pocket.
How many of
compared
us
to-
actually care about lanyards? In general, how many people care about lanyards?
It's
There's a fair bit.
the funny thing is
20%, 30%?
in the last year I've carried my ZT301 with the Tigger knife and
Yeah.
with a lanyard, and on Halloween I carried it because it's orange.
I remember that.
The lanyard went completely the wrong way, and I was trying to pull it out to have it on the outside of my pocket the whole time so I could grab it and pull it out. Like,
Yeah, if I'm going to have a lanyard, it's supposed to be hanging out.
it wants to
and
be accessible.
I'm like that too.
That's
Okay, fair enough.
specifically why I've removed
It's
lanyards from all my knives.
because they haven't
Because they always end up inside your pocket. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. Oh, okay. fair enough.
So yes, they did change it, but the usefulness of this lanyard has now made it for anyone
So
who
if the
does
pocket
like a
clip,
lanyard.
So if the pocket clip was slightly over and there was a lanyard hole here, but then does not
You
get
can
in the way
hang
of
a
your
lanyard
grip?
off the top of that clip too.
I guess you
Pretty
could.
friggin' easy.
You
Yeah.
certainly could.
Real easy. Like,
You could modify it if you were a hardcore lanyard guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You bet you could. All right,
Yeah.
I think.
Any other major points to be made?
I think we covered most of it.
Your lightweight bullshit isn't fooling me. It's not
not
fooling me, Spyderco.
Nope.
Come up with weird stuff that I may or may not like, but at least I give you credit for trying. This
Yeah.
isn't trying.
Spyderco, yeah.
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 Yeah. So yeah, pleasant little guy. We all enjoy it in some way or another. Very well made.
Yeah.
I ran, but I gave it a 70, so that tells you something.
I really kind of want one specifically to play with that steel.
Anyway,
But yeah, once again, gonna give a big giant thank out to the Cutting Edge for giving us this knife to play with, so we can enjoy and share some toys with all you guys.
and Instagram.
Yeah, head on over to the Pokey Factor on Instagram. Get some behind the scenes shenanigans, things like that.
Maybe some reposting off of our personal stuff. It is pumpkin cutting season, and you guys know that we like our big toys, even though we don't review them. So,
Yeah, head on over there.
so much
You see
fun.
something, some fun stuff.
So yeah. Also, feel free if you care to donate to this silly cause of ours. Head over to the Patreon page and yeah, donate whatever you can if you feel like it. And at some point, you might get something out of it.
We're
Give
gonna
us
do
money.
some giveaways, and honestly, followers on Instagram might go hand in hand with some giveaways. We get 500 members, we get 1,000 members. Let's start doing some stuff. Let's start growing
Absolutely.
the channel.
Just
Yep.
hit 200.
We did
Thanks.
just 200
Today, yeah.
500 members, guys. Once we get 500 members, there will be a giveaway, and it will be good. I'm saying it right now, and I'm gonna hold us to it.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Out of his collection.
Yep.
Some of it's going to be, and you guys all know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. None of my good stuff, though. You guys back off. See? Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys want to help give a share out and promote us as well as us trying to promote ourselves, we'll reach that 500 goal sooner, so we can start giving away stuff and get you guys prizes.
For
And
sure.
if you do decide to donate, my solemn promise is it won't go towards beer. It'll go towards the channel stuff.
Yep.
Nothing that you donate goes to anything except for making our channel better.
Absolutely.
100% of the time.
Indeed.
I guarantee it.
For sure.
What he said.
We thanked out Cutting Edge.
Yep.
We're done that? All right.
Yep.
We're done
Yeah,
everything?
we
All
did.
right. Let's finish this goddamn video.
Good night, everybody.
And
Wait, who are we?
well, I am
It should, yeah.
Nigel the Smith here saying goodbye.
I am who I am. I'm always Dennis Fighters.
I am the Iron Joe.
I'm at exile.ca.
We hope you enjoyed the weekend as much as we are. We'll catch you again next time.
We don't need bigger knife. Yeah.